5 weeks ago, Bernie Sanders said he would be releasing his tax returns soon. That's the word he used. When you heard him say soon, did you think that meant more than 5 weeks? On Sunday, Bernie Sanders said something strange about releasing his tax returns.
We have it all done, and it's just the question of dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Yes.
Can you hear that water and the other thing off, please?
It only makes sense if Bernie Sanders is talking only about his current tax return that has to be filed in the next 12 days. But it is the official position of the Democratic Party as expressed in the very first bill in the House of Representatives this year that presidential candidates should release 10 years of tax returns. And you are not allowed to go back and dot the I's and cross the T's in your tax return from 10 years ago, or 9 years ago, 8 years ago, or 7 years ago. Like Senator Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders should have had 10 years of tax returns ready to be released last year. The one tax return we've seen from Senator Sanders, his 2014 tax return, is an incredibly simple, non-controversial tax return, a typical tax return for a United States senator who is not rich. I would assume that all of his tax returns are equally simple. This seems like a completely unnecessary political error being made by the Sanders campaign. But that very same campaign, like all of the campaigns, has released exactly how much money they have raised in the first 3 months of this year. And the campaigns all did that because there is a law that requires them to do it. That's why we need a law requiring them to release their tax returns. The Sanders campaign raised more money than any other campaign, $18.2 million in the first quarter of this year. That money came from 525,000 contributors. Accounting for that money and filing the FEC report on that money is much more complicated and time-consuming than Bernie Sanders' tax return. It's like filing a tax return where you have 525,000 different sources of income, each of which has to be specified and added into a total income, which in this case is over $18 million. The Sanders campaign approached that with the highest degree of competence and professionalism and honor in accounting for every penny of the $18 million and every person who contributed. And that same presidential campaign, those campaigns who do that are all capable of doing that. They should be able to make sure that their candidates' tax returns are filed on time and publicly released as quickly as possible. The campaigns can't pay to do that, but they can make sure that the candidates are getting that done, that the candidates' accountants are getting that done. Even though there is no law that forces them to do that. On Sunday, Bernie Sanders added something about President Trump after he said that Bernie Sanders said that he would be releasing his tax returns after dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
And by the way, let me challenge President Trump to do the same. Trust me, we do not have investments in Russia or Saudi Arabia or any place else. Yes, we will be releasing them.
But no Democratic candidate for president can challenge President Trump about releasing his tax returns until that candidate has released 10 years of his own tax returns. The time for excuses for this is over.
Don't be abusing my baby.
It was over a long time ago. That's tonight's Last Word. The 11th Hour with Brian Williams starts now.